Slot machines take up the bulk of the casino floor, and for good reason. They make the house the most amount of money. The entire casino and the programming of the machines is all designed with human psychology in mind. So the more that you understand the psychological aspect behind the casino industry, the better you can make your decisions. So how do you better your chances and identify good slot machines? That's exactly what I'm going to show you in today's video. Welcome everybody to the Cowboy Slot channel, where I bring you experienced advice from working in the casinos, tips, reviews, and a whole lot more. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications when I come out with future videos. Also be sure to share this video on your social media to help educate others. Also, please do check out my full video library, as many of the questions you may have are probably answered in past videos. This video is building on my original how to pick a good slot machine video. If you have not yet seen it or need a refresher, check it out. I'm going to include a card in the top right hand corner of the screen, as well as a link in the description of this video. The first thing that you really want to do is try to gain a new understanding of how the casino industry operates as a whole. Everything from the building itself to the programming of the machines is designed to give the house the advantage and to keep you entertained. Rule number one to always keep in mind is the casino is always going to have the most of what makes them the most money. This is why there are thousands of square feet just devoted to slot machines. By keeping this in mind, the first thing that you should do is avoid all of the hype and flash. Don't be tempted by the games that they have the most of. Chances are you're going to have worse odds on these machines. Based on that, let's talk about pennies. Penny machines make up the bulk of any casino floor, and for good reason on part of the house. They have the worst overall paybacks and worst overall odds for you, the player. The casino knows that psychologically most people are apt to play these machines because they only see the penny and they don't account for how much they're actually betting when they play these penny machines, which by playing to that psychological factor makes the house the most money. You'll want to avoid penny machines at all costs, unless you are playing purely for the enjoyment of the game, to kill time, or if your budget allows for lower denominations only. As I've mentioned before in previous videos, the payback percentage of a slot machine is based on the denomination, and penny machines have the worst payback percentage of any slot you could possibly play on the floor. Can you win at penny slots? Yes, but it is rare, and that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is how to pick and identify a good machine that's going to give you the better chances when you're playing slots. So steer clear of penny slot machines. So next, let's talk about volatility. Volatility is a term that gets thrown around a lot and not many people understand it. But a basic breakdown of volatility would simply be this. The more a game has going on, the more volatile it is. So these would be games that have multiple pay lines or several different bonuses, high multipliers, or in some case no pay lines at all. A high volatile game would be considered games like Dancing Drums, 12 times pay, or 3, 4, 5 times multiplier paying machines. Games with surprise bonus wins or progressives are also in the high volatile category. A low volatile game, simply put, would be a game that is very straightforward and simple. Games with only one pay line, no bonuses, or maybe a multiplier of just 2 and 3 times. Or games that give you at least your minimum bet back. So games with no bonuses or one single pay line would be considered a low volatile game. An example of a low volatile game would be Triple Diamond. This is the most important part to picking a slot machine, whether you use the term volatile or not. The key here is to pick a very simple, straightforward game. Avoid the hype and the flash and all the crazy bonuses and stuff that you see now, and pick just a very simple, straightforward slot machine. Some people find the older games to be not as fun as the newer games, and unfortunately a lot of these casinos are doing away with the older slot machines, but that's not to say that a low volatile game can't be found. A lot of these older style machines they do have newer versions of, such as Triple Stars and Triple Diamond, so be sure to keep an eye out for those. You can still apply this rule to your casino even if there are no older games present. Basically, make sure that you walk the entire casino floor and look around, as I've stated in my previous tips video, which once again is in the description of this video down below. But you want to look for games that basically don't have a lot of stuff going on with them, so to speak. You want to keep to the boring ones and keep to the simple games. The more basic a game is, the less volatile it's going to be, which overall is going to give you the better chances. My next tip is an important one, and that is understanding your stopping point. The casino is a psychological trap, and in my years of working in the casino, I would see players come in all the time and they would drain and spend their entire life savings. It's very easy to do if you get caught up in the mind tricks of the casino. You should always keep in mind that no matter what advice you get or steps that you take, the house does still have the advantage at the end, and slot machines are designed to take in more money than they give out. You won't win every time, so it's important that if you're not having a good time at the casino, if you're not making money, to leave the casino and try again on another day or try another casino. My advice if you do win is to take a deep breath and just pause for a moment and either leave the casino or make sure that you set aside enough money that you're comfortable going home with. If you do win a big jackpot, my advice is to take it in the form of a check. That way you're not tempted by having the cash on hand and you can keep the check with you until you get home and have the time to take it to the bank. Gambling can get very dangerous, which is why it is so highly regulated. In fact, it's more regulated than alcohol and tobacco combined. So if you are going to play, you want to play smart. In the description of this video below is information for those struggling with a gambling problem. So if you or somebody you know is struggling with a gambling problem, be sure to check out that information in the description of this video. Tip number 5. Progressives are not always the best games to play. Sure, you can win some great amounts playing progressive games, but that's not to say that they are the best option to pick. Progressive games are oftentimes a lot more volatile than games without a progressive. For starters, you never want to chase a progressive game unless you have the bankroll to do so. The bigger a progressive is, the harder it's going to be to hit on. If you're looking for information about Wheel of Fortune progressives, be sure to check out my video on Wheel of Fortune. I'll put a tag right up here in the top right hand corner of your screen, as well as a link in the description of this video down below. Progressive games have gotten a lot more popular in recent years, and they've attracted so many players with the promise of big amounts of money. In my years of working for the casino, we paid out several different progressives, and yes, you can win some really good money at them. But you want to make sure that you understand the game fully first before you play it. Many older type progressive machines will require that the player play max bet in order to get the progressive. And not only that, but progressives widely vary based on the denomination of the machine in which you're playing. So there are a lot of factors to consider before playing a progressive slot machine. If you're looking for a slot machine to have more consistent wins on, it's probably best not to select a progressive-based slot machine. As a reminder, be sure to check out my other videos in the library, as many questions that you may have are probably answered in a past video. And I do have a lot of other how-to videos on slot machines as well, so be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out the video library. So let's talk about denominations. As I've mentioned in several of my past videos, slot payback percentages are based on the denomination of the machine, not what you're playing on it. So if you are spending $10 a spin on a penny slot machine, always keep in mind that you're getting that same payback percentage of the penny. You want to play the highest denomination that your budget allows for. A good rule of thumb that I like to stick with, and this may be different from yours, is the base denomination of the machine that you pick should be 1% of your total bankroll. This following example is based on single credit betting, so if you are playing max, you'll want to adjust accordingly. If you bring in $500 to the casino, you should stick with a $5 denom slot machine. But you also want to consider how much the bet is for that machine as well if you're playing max credits. For example, with a $500 bankroll, if you do pick a $5 slot machine, you don't want to bet so much as to deplete your bankroll right away. An example of this would be playing a $5 slot at 10 credits per spin, which would deplete a $500 bankroll way too quickly. So you would either want to pick a different machine or play a lesser amount. Always remember that the slot's payback percentage is purely based on the denomination and not what you spend. So if you are wondering if it's best to play 1 credit on a $10 slot, or whether to play a $10 bet on a penny machine, the answer would be to play the $10 slot machine. You're spending the same amount of money, but your chances are significantly greater. By following these basic steps, no matter what casino you're in, you can better your chances of leaving with a profit. And be sure to check out my other tips videos and other videos in the library to learn more. Each and every Sunday afternoon, I do a live stream on my channel where I answer subscribers' questions. So be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell for notifications when I do come out with future videos. Thank you all so much once again for tuning into the Cowboy Slot channel. As always, best of luck to you.